All right, so I want you to just go ahead and connect again your install electrical and so drywall. It says here on your node, the predecessor of your install electrical is your 13 activity. That means install plumbing. And the last one is your install electrical. So you're going to put 14. So that is how you create relationship on your activities. So that is the note that we have here on item number 6 on relationship. But the other thing is that I want you to learn is how to add lag time. Okay, this is very critical, especially if, say, for example, for concrete, we cannot install the next activity unless the concrete is hardened. So to do that, there are several ways. What I need to do is double click the link of the activity in the Gantt chart, and then uh, double click the link of the activity in the Gantt chart, and then there will be a dialog box that will pop out. And the second one is you could double click the activity from the table, and then again pretty much the same. A dialog box will appear, and then follow the instructions by entering the log time. All right, so let me show you that. So what I need to do is, say for example, on your handout, you are required to use a log time of, say, 3 days for concrete or 5 days. So to do that, as I said, say for example here, for cement and frame house. The frame house, you cannot frame that right after you pour the concrete. What you need to do, no, should be not cement. Can you change that a little bit to concrete, not cement? All right, concrete. And then it has to be hardened first if you're going to wait for 5 days. So how do you add the lag time? So notice here on the Gantt chart, this is the link to which those two activities are linked together. So what I want you to do is double click this link. Okay, it will pop up this dialog box here. So it means that your frame house follows your concrete. What I want you to do is add 5 days, wait, and then what you do is just double click. Okay, so you will notice here it added 5 days, okay, from your predecessor to the finish date of your, to the starting date of your next activity. So the other way that you could do is on the table. What you do is just double click that activity. It will pop up this dialog box here. Okay. So what I want you to do is you can go into the predecessor tab, and you will notice that you have your log time here too, to where you could enter them. So those are the two possible ways that you could add the log time. Okay, so again, for this illustration, we're going to use 5 days for that. All right, so on your lecture, I need you to add a milestone as well too. Now you've seen this in your previous lab exercise. How do we define milestone? A milestone is a significant event. Okay, I'm going to put it here. Milestone is a significant event, such as the top out event. That is when they put in the last beam of the structure, or say for example inspection. Those are a milestone, and a lot of the time those does not consume resources, and that's the reason why duration is always zero. Okay, just like the one that you have in your previous um, exercise. All right, so next is how you're going to format the time scale. So what you need to do is go to Format tab, and then you have to go to the bar style, and then I want you to go bar style group and the ribbon, and then I want you to go to Format, and then you will see bar styles. All right, so let's do that. Let me show you on this. So this is my Gantt chart here. So here, you can change some of those if you wanted. Okay, if you don't want that color, what you do is just go to the format. Okay, so you have here the format. So you have here the format on this bar style. You have here format. So you can click that up. Then you could do a bar, or you could just do bar style. Okay, it pop up a dialog box here. So for those tasks, so you have here normal, active, not manually. Now you could change the color by selecting the appearance, and you will notice here that it gives you different colors as well too. Okay. Now you could add some other items here if you wanted. Okay. So here, now you have also critical activities. If you want to provide a color for critical activities, you could add that. If you don't have that on the list, you can just name it here, add that one here, and then type in whatever that informations that you want. Okay. All right. So, but that's how you change them. Now, the same thing also if you want to change the end, because you have here the bars, you have here the start and you have the end. The same thing also with the text. You could also select what sorry you could also select whatever that you want to appear on the left side of the bar or on the right side of the bar as well too. Say for example, if you want on the right side, you want to show the finish date, then you could select any one of those. All right. We'll go over with that one again as we move on. So I just close that, but that's where you are going to change the format. Okay, you could add several other entities that you want to put in there. All right. So what about the time scale? The time scale is the scale that you see that on the top of your Gantt chart and the table. So what you need to do is just double click. And by the way, for any software, there must always be two possible way for you to activate the function of the software. So for this time scale, I want you to double click the time scale just right above the Gantt chart or the table area, and then you will select the time scale option. It depends on how you are going to orient them or what. So here for this particular illustration here, you have only two lines. If that is the way that you want to orient them, then it's just fine. Otherwise, if you want to show the day, the week, and the month, then you could do that as well too. So on the steps that I provided, what I want you to do is just double click it, okay, and it will bring you this one here. Now, what we have here is a double tier or double line. You can change that up. See, by default, it has two tiers. What I want you to do, I want you to do three tiers so that you will be able to have that on the top as the month. You can put that as a month. Okay. And on the middle tier, you can change that into a week if you want to see the weeks. And at the bottom tier, you can use that into a days. So it shows there in days. So that's how you change them, okay, depending on the requirements of your company. If you want to show all those three lines, well and good. So just click and you will notice here now you have the month, you have the weeks, okay, weeks of 7 to 14, 14 to 21. So it is divided into weekly. Okay, and of course we have the days at the bottom as well too. Okay, so that is how you do the format scale. Now there is one thing that I want to show it to you as well is to add what we call as the summary activity and project summary. Those two are different because the summary activity, that is what we did already. This is the main group of activities, which means that if you are going to indent, that is the one that we did. You have to use the indent and outdent to have that. So here in this illustration, so we have the planning here, that is the summary task. The bottom part, the bottom of that is the subgroup, as they call it. Now the project summary is different. Okay, that is providing the summary for the entire project. And for you to be able to do that, what you do is you have to go into the format. All right, and then I want you to go into the show hide group, and then I want you to go and check the project summary. All right, so that is the sequence and how you're going to do it. So here, in this case here, what we need to do is you just need to go into the format. So here is the format. And on the show hide group here on the right side, you will see here that we have the project summary task. So you will notice also we have here summary task. If you're going to uncheck that, the planning, the foundation, exterior, and interior will you will get rid of those. It will be hide. So here I'm going to add the project summary task, and you will notice here that it will show automatically the file name that you created for this project. So it shows you now the lecture exercise 2 and provide a summary of the overall duration, and that is the handy part of it, providing a summary of how long they start and when will it finish. It is April the 15th in that particular case. All right. All right, so the other thing is you could modify, just like on your Excel, it's quite hard to align which are these activities because there's no line on them. So what we're going to do is to modify and customize the Gantt chart area. Okay, so what you to do is, let me just add that. I don't know if you have here Gantt chart area. Let me add that one. So on the Gantt chart area, you can, one is add grid lines. All right. You can also change layout if you wanted layout. And I'm going to show you that as I move back into your MS project. And then of course, change bar styles as well too, rather than going into the format. Or you could, I think that's it. All right, so let me go back into here. What I'm going to do is just right click it. All right. So here, these are the options where you could add on them. So what I want you to do, just click grid lines. So you want to put Gantt rows, bar rows, and so forth. So what I want to select here is just the Gantt rows. Okay, you can select whether it is dash line or you want it to be continuous line. Okay, you can change the color as well too, but I'm going to stay with the default black line. So what I need to do is just click OK. So you will notice that it will show now the alignment of each of those activities in regards to your this one here on your activities. All right, so Let's take a look at the network diagram. So here, well, the network diagram is pretty much the same way that you did in the manual calculations in your construction management and in your project management. Okay, so for you to be able to view the network diagram, what you need to do is you just need to go into the view bar, and we could toggle back and forth into that. So I want you to go into the view bar, then I want you to click the network diagram, and then you could do also on the view tab. If you don't have the view bar for some reason, you can still activate it by going into the view tab. Let me put it here, view tab, and then on the task view group, I want you to select network diagram. So either way, you should be able to show the network diagram. And from there, you can also, let me just put it here, you can change the layout if you wanted. Okay, layout and formatting by right clicking, just like the one that you did on the Gantt chart. Okay, while you are on the network diagram. All right, so you can change that by going to Format tab, and then Format Group, and then you have the layout. You have to set it whether it's automatic, or you could set it into a manual, especially if you want to repositions and arrange those tab. So you have here options as auto. Let me just put it here, auto position of box, or you can also make it manual positioning. Okay, so you have to choose any one of those. All right, so again, for you to be able to show the network diagram, so here on the view bar, you just need to click the network diagram, and you will be able to see your network diagram here. You may need to probably minimize it. Okay, and there you go. So these are your summary tasks. Okay, and this is your groups. Now you will notice that they're all online here, but you can change that. Let me go back to your Gantt chart. The reasons for that is because it is not linked together. Say, for example, you can link your planning, okay, and your foundation. Again, what I did is select the planning and the foundation, and then your exterior and your interior, and then you can link them by going back to tasks and link those, and you will notice that they are being linked together now, so that when you go to the network diagram, see that it now create the link as well for those major tasks. Okay, otherwise you can just leave it to be aligned. Okay, but what is important is this connected activities that we have. Okay, so let me go back to Gantt chart. Now here on the Gantt chart area, you can also show the under format. You can show critical activities on those as well too. Say for example here on the bar style, I forgot to mention this a while ago. You notice here that it has critical tasks box. If you're going to click that, it will change those critical activities into red. Well, since for this one here, they're all connected to one another, pretty much all of them are in a critical activities. Okay, so when you go to your network diagram, those are also in critical. Those red colors, otherwise, if they are not critical, then they must be in a blue color. Okay. All right, so you could also add recurring tasks. So how do you do that? So let me go here. Let me go back into the manual positioning and auto position box. All right, so let's do that. So while you are in the network diagram here, when you go into the Format tab, as you have on the sequence on the node, you have to go into the layout mode. So when you click that one there, it gives you the layout mode, whether it is automatically and allow manual box positioning. So what's the difference between these two? The allow manual positioning, it will allow you to move and rearrange those boxes if you want to rearrange them. Otherwise, if it is an automatic, it will forbid you to move those boxes. So pretty much that's the purpose of how you lay them out on your network diagrams. All right, so if you go into your handout, the next thing that you are going to do now is assigning and leveling resources. Okay, so I'm going to stop this from here, and I'm going to pick this up on the next lesson.